What is going on? Welcome to Ryan and Brian Talk Sports plus Nick Larson. As always, we appreciate Odd Shopper and Sleeper Picks. I did not make the show on Thursday last week, but I'm back here for our normal time here at Monday. How are you guys doing? How was your weekend?
Pretty damn good. Went to the lake, so that was always awesome. Slept on a houseboat with 3 kids, 2 dogs, myself, my wife, and 2 adults. So that
So you
was
got
really
away from you got
we
away
made
from a
it.
little bit. That's what I did. I was gone. I went to Myrtle Beach with some friends, and honestly, there was a guy on this trip, another Brian, and this guy had a cannon of the arm. Like this guy could throw for days. So on the beach, I was running so many deep posts. So I actually appreciate him being there because I decided to announce my official entrance into the NFL draft. So I'm going to try to
Oh,
go
there you go.
pro. I know the draft's coming up in a few weeks, so I'm going to go to Detroit. Maybe I get picked up, 6th round pick. If you guys need a scrappy, slot receiver, let me know. They call me Wes Welker in these parts, so
Yeah, sure.
appreciate that. So we might not have the show any longer if I
Kind of
do
look
get picked up.
look like you have a little puka in you, maybe.
Okay, I can do that. Is it the
Interesting.
I
hat?
can see that.
Is it the pastel? Is it the pastel look?
Yeah, it
Are
really
you
is.
eligible
It
to
is.
be drafted? I don't know. I want to. What's the process to be eligible? Just able-bodied? Isn't that
Yeah,
what it
just
is? Isn't it
exists,
kind of
I
like?
Yeah,
think.
you're
Isn't it?
alive.
Yeah, I'm alive, so I think I have all the criteria I need there to be a NFL draftee. So it should be a fun time. Uh, so I guess we go right into it. I guess what's on the ticker first? I didn't have it pulled up. Are we
How
going
the
to
fuck
NBA?
do you not know this?
Is it NBA
How do you
or,
not know
or,
this?
or MLB
You
first?
just you
It's
just you
usually
just put our
NBA.
entire family at risk.
Dude, I just like forgot that I haven't done this in a whole week, even though it's what it normally is. I don't even have it up.
We
Let me
have
see.
NBA on the ticker first, which
NBA, so we got to follow that. So NBA first, as always. We have all the games unplayed. I'm so glad it's finally the playoffs because we do not have any more blowouts, even though the average margin of victory for these playoff games are like 1,000. Seems like everyone's getting blown out left and right. Even the
yeah.
Mavericks fake stats, but good for Luca and Kyrie to come through for the play for any parlays after having 8 points at half. I believe Luca did. He made sure to get that 30 plus for everyone that needed it. So
He sure
at least
did. I had his
at least
over,
they
so
respect that. Yeah,
I was
at least
happy
they
to see
respect
it.
him that. Yeah, I think I talked about with Nick. I had his over in rebounds, and I couldn't watch the game because I was just on the beach, and I checked at half. My friend was just like, "Dude, how are we gonna get screwed on this one?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And I checked, he had 8. I was like, "All right, hopefully he gets one more rebound the rest of the game, or I'll just have to quit for a while."
I mean, that was one of the worst lines I think I've ever seen in my entire life. That
The
made no
rebounds
sense.
or
Concerns.
the rebounds, or what'd you play? Points or PR?
Rebounds. I played his points because I'm an idiot, but his rebounds were such a joke. He was over in
I
like
know.
19 out of 20, smoked it almost every single time, and they just hung an 8-5
Yeah.
postseason. I don't know, man. Weird, but
I know
nice play.
you're a big guy with me with Joe Delara. Like I texted him and I texted Nick Larson at the same time. Just simply with the lines opened up and I said, do you notice that Luca's now minus 110 for 8.5? I mean, I just it felt like I was being one of those public slash newbie betters where I was just thinking, how does he not get 9 rebounds for a guy that's playing 30, 40 minutes a game and just has such a big role in that team? So it was nice that he came through.
And my response was, "Oh, great, you're on his rebounds too, so
And
we're
didn't
screwed."
he cash? Didn't he hit
That's
4 in the first? He had 5 in the first quarter, right? 4?
hit 4, yeah,
4? Yeah,
4,
so that's all you
yeah.
needed, right? I mean, what
Three
was
and
Like
that?
four
plus
hit.
320, so
Yeah,
yeah,
that's all you needed. So we can kind of jump right into it. How many plays do you guys have for the NBA slate today? It's actually should be a fun round of games, I think. 2, I have
Oh,
2. 4, Ryan, that means you get started off for us.
hell yeah, man. I had all of this time. This is just a show, like showly ritual. I had all this time to shop all of these props, and I have not done any of that. But who does that, who's surprised by that at this point? My first play, I'm going to go Darius Garland. Now, I played him on Thursday. It didn't work out too well in my favor, but I'm going to go ahead and run this back. Actually, a very playable 15.5 is back. So I got him last night, 15.5 at minus 125. That exact line still exists on DraftKings as we speak. Really wanted, no real hesitations to play this back. He had some turnover issues. He was benched actually for a bit of the third quarter. After 3 quarters, he had 6 points, and this just kind of asked. And then he kind of found his groove. He put the the finishing touches on the game really late. He hit a 3 and then a 2 back to back to get him up to 14. It was the ugliest 14-point performance that I'd ever seen, but this is a pretty good player here, and I mentioned a lot of this stuff on Thursday, but I think Orlando's defense is obviously really good, but one place that they're pretty soft is against point guards. He had really good success against them in the regular season. They allowed the 7th most points to point guards over the last 30 games, sorry. and the 4th most over the course of the season. So I really like this bounce back spot. His line opened at 17.5 for game 1. So we get a nice 2-point discount here. And even with being benched for a fairly long stretch of the 3rd quarter, he still finished with 32 minutes. So I'm thinking we should be locked in unless he like has the 5 turnovers really quick again. I think we can get up to 37, 38 minutes. He averaged 37 last postseason. So, and something you'll hear me say a lot is, I think this is a good time that we can kind of filter out stats. Like props.cash is awesome. You get to get on props.cash and see what their hit rate is when they have X amount of minutes. So let's be even a little conservative and filter them out to 32 minutes along Donovan Mitchell, and he averaged 19.2. So we're getting a decent 3.5 point discount essentially here for a postseason game. Obviously, pace slows down a little bit. Defense is a little more stringent, but I still think this is a very fair practice to do to kind of ISO out these minute log games where they get these huge minutes and see how they did in them. And I did it for pretty much every guy I have tonight. So he's another one. So I just think I think he can score 16 points. I thought about doing the 20-25 ladder, but this 15-5 was a bit too low for me to just resist. So I just went 1 unit here.
So let me tell you why Ryan's going to lose this play.
Look
It's
forward to it.
because I am also on Darius Garland. I looked at his
shit.
no, that actually makes me kind of comforted that you're on him, because I looked at his lines so heavily last night until today. Just looking at his points, PR, you name it, just everything feels kind of low. I ended up taking it's currently right now, I just checked on DraftKings, 25.5 points, rebounds / assist at -115. Honestly, the points is probably what I like the best. He only had 11 potential assists last game, but they were such good quality looks. And you kind of mentioned it with his minutes being a little bit lower than you're probably going to see tonight. I just don't. I just think everything here increases. I feel like his rebounding, he only had 3, but at the end of the day, I don't need many rebounds. Just
Yeah,
his
3
floor
would work.
seems to be 2 or 3, so that's all I need there. But you mentioned it too with Orlando Magic. They're top 3 against every single position defensively except for point guard. So they guard shooting guards well, forwards well, centers well, but they just do kind of struggle with those driving guards / point guards. And Spider dropped 30 last game, and they didn't really ever seem to be in that game. It wasn't really a super close game at many points. So if this game stays a little bit closer, I think you see higher minutes, and I think you see adjustments where they're going to try to make Spida, not be the one that beats them, which should leave Garland wide open. And before before they had Spider, really was the Darius Garland show there with the big. So
Sure
he's
was.
not he's not unused to being in that position or being those big spots. And you mentioned it with the success. He has 35 PRA on average against them in the regular season. He dropped 26, 36, 18, 14. And that was with Mitchell. Only one game this year he was without Mitchell against them. So he averaged 23 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, 3.5 rebounds. Just feels like one of those spots where we talk about all the time with FanDuel's up 26.5, and DraftKings just has never moved off that 25.5. So I decided to go PRA just because he's a guy that I wouldn't be surprised even if he scores 14 points again, that 8 assists could easily be like 11 or 12, or his rebounds could go up. He had 6 rebounds one game against them. I just think at any point, I think he can go off. So hopefully he just scores, 20 points, makes it easy. But he just has so many different opportunities in this team. So I feel like the PRA is where I ended up going.
Like it. Sounds like a plan for me. Let's go Darius Garland. All right, Nick, let's see what you got.
I am not one guy. I am not on Darius Garland, so hopefully it doesn't have anything to do with me. But my first play is also that same game, first quarter rebound ladder. Jonathan Isaac. He played 9 first quarter minutes last game. Always around the hoop, very aggressive offensive rebounder. His over 2.5 is plus 150 on DraftKings, 4 plus 380, and then 5 plus 1,000. Anytime I can get 3 rebounds plus 150 for a guy like that, have to take it. So just like this spot for him. He's going to be in there with Mobley and Jared Allen. It's just hopefully he can pick up 1 offensive rebound and then get some on the defensive end. Banchero usually plays about the full 12, so be competing with him. But other than that, there's probably a lot of missed shots in this game. It's not the most high scoring and prolific offenses, so there's going to be rebounds. It's just hopefully he's able to grab them.
Yeah, you don't get that kind of value for a starting center very often. So take advantage of it.
Right,
he's a beast.
He's probably
a top 3 player in the entire playoffs. He's been that good on the defensive end.
he's actually an absolute monster defensively. I'm a huge fan of that.
Yeah.
I'll keep it in the same game. I have one more play in this game, and it's hilarious to have 2 overs in a game with a 203 total. But here we are. I'm gonna go Franz Wagner over whatever his points plus assist line is. I think it was 22.5. I should probably know that, but that's okay. This is a number I really like for him. He's obviously a huge part of the offense last game. Took 15 field goals, 6 threes, 4 free throws. He also had 13 potential assists, which is probably the thing that kind of caught my eye the most here. I thought the value was right on par with what we should see. The potential assists had me really excited for some potential here. No pun intended. So I thought it was a nice line. He gets to get a good opportunity here. He played 37.6 minutes last game, which is quite a bit more than a season average of 31 and a half. So again, I'm going to go back to my filter stats here. So if you filter out games with 32 plus minutes, he was over in 66% and he averaged 25.3 PA. And if you do 35 plus minutes, which I'm anticipating here, he averaged 26.6 over in 71%. And as far as the matchup is concerned, small forward is one area that the Cavs have struggled to defend lately, allowing the third most points to small forwards over the last 30 games. So we're going to get huge minutes. The shooting and passing volume is really encouraging for me. It's a relatively soft spot of the Cavs defense. There isn't really many soft spots, but I think this is one that can be exploited here. So we get pretty much a second option pseudo point guard here at a 22.5 line. I know it's not going to be a high scoring game, but this is definitely a number I think he can exceed. And at the time it was plus 102 on DraftKings, which I really liked. And needless to say, I've not shopped that or reshopped that, but still should be a really playable number.
I saw his assist line was opening at 3.5, and that was very tempting to me because, as you mentioned, his potential assist last game was crazy high for some of his roles. So I do think that's a good look there. So
yeah,
you mentioned the points. There's a lot of gross point totals on this slate with like 203, 205, but at least the people, like the teams in those between the Sixers, Knicks, Cavs, and Magic, at least I trust most of them to have high quality possessions. So at least even if the pace is slower, you get good looks in terms of actual setup offense, where if you need assist, you get a lot more of that, half court offense that sets it up well. So hopefully it translates to good for the people that we have in these games.
That would be nice. The best line is MGM minus 110, but minus 115-ish pretty much everywhere. So should get a good line no matter where you look.
Yeah, and then so Nick, do you want to go, or do you want me to finish up with my last spot?
You can do your last one, then I'll do my last one.
Yeah, Nick's a little delayed there. That's kind of funny. But we're going to go with Kelly Oubre. I know Ryan probably going to touch on him a little bit. I actually had some...
buddy.
Easy. If you're going to pick anyone to do that with, it might be Kelly Oubre, if I'm being honest. We talked about it on the show before. That's why my fiance is not allowed to go to Sixers games anymore, because if Kelly Oubre's on the court, she's not allowed to go. So Kelly Oubre, dude, last 2 games in the playoffs, he's actually been really disappointed, because I know me and Nick joked about the start of the year. Never a huge Kelly Oubre fan. Actively hated him for 3-4 years when he was with Charlotte. Just didn't like his play style. And I can't believe I've gone so 180 on a player in my life, where
love this guy
him coming to the Sixers on that vet minimum deal, I would pay him whatever he needs to get paid to stay here for 3 more years. He gives 1,000% more effort than Tobias Harris does at 10% of the costs. Just love what we get from him. And my thing is, I went with the PR here, 17.5. 2 not great games, but his volume's been kind of low in his field goal attempts. And if you watch that Knicks game, the Sixers Sixers came out hot early. They were up pretty big, and then he just kind of, fell off. And the entire team fell off. No one was grabbing rebounds. People could not grab a rebound. I almost pulled my hair out trying to get a freaking defensive rebound on this team. So Nick Nurse did mention that they might have Paul Reed come out and play some Embiid minutes. I just think no matter what, there's one guy that, even if he was getting beat at some spots, he actively showed that he cared. Rebounds is such a hustle stat. He actually was out there putting out the effort, trying his best to box out, even if he was against a bigger opponent. And if there's one person that Nick Nurse comes out and says, we need to answer this call, he said in the press conference, we have to be more aggressive, we have to rebound harder. I'm trusting Kelly Oubre to be the guy that can actually take that personally and get fired up for it over a guy like Tobias Harris. And 17.5 is such a low line for a guy that had 12 rebound chances last game and he had 11 field goal attempts or ever the last he had 18 over the last 2 games. No, I just think he's gonna have such a better shot profile in this game. He's elite at the rim. Sixers need easier baskets. They can't keep doing this, you know, hold the shot clock, settle for a corner three or a bad look in the mid range. I think he's gonna have a lot more of a overall role in this game, whether it's offensive rebounds, which would be great, or attacking the rim. I just think he's the one guy with the aggression to go out there, box out for the rebounds, and just put up some points. I mean, 3 rebounds last game was gross. Only made 3 baskets. I think you're going to see 10 shots from him. He's going to play 40 minutes because, as we mentioned earlier, whether Embiid, Maxey aren't 100%, he's just the one guy that puts 110% out there. So I feel like he earned his 40 minutes. He had 5 steals last game. So he just does so much right on the court that isn't scoring and isn't like on the stat sheet that I feel like he gets the minute. So if you give me a guy needing 18 PR that you can safely say he's going to be out there for most of the game, I'll probably take that 100% of the time.
Yeah, no doubt. You need 4 or 5 a quarter. Pretty attainable. Big fan of that.
My next play is LeBron James, first quarter assists. He cashed this full ladder in the first game.
Bronny James' dad.
Oh yes,
Gotcha.
I think I've heard of him. I read something about him.
Yeah, he's new to the league this year. So taking his over 2.5 plus 124, 4 plus 310, and 5 plus 800 with Aaron Gordon on him, tough defender. If D'Angelo Russell can make a shot this game, that would only help his cause here. So he's been running the point, and especially with how AD's been playing against Joker, look for his assist to be up in the first quarter. He had 5 last first quarter, then kind of slowed down a little after that. So he usually comes out looking to get everybody else involved. So really like this spot with the odds still plus 800 for 5. They didn't really adjust that much compared to last game.
Yeah, big fan. I ran that back with you when you posted it earlier. I will take the next one. I might as well just rattle off back-to-back plays. One I don't have as much to say about because Brian said a lot about it. Unfortunately, the odds have fell on me a little bit. I played this one last night, and we've gotten some Maxey news, which is kind of interesting. I might even, well, I don't know, because if Maxey's out, then you'd kind of get screwed. But I really doubt he is. Nonetheless, I played Kelly Oubre for 0.75 units total. I put 0.5 units on 15 plus points, which I think is plus 170 now. And then I played him for 20, which is plus 650 now for 0.25 units. Brian said it a lot. I mean, just generally speaking, obviously we have the Maxey news, which I didn't anticipate when I locked this in. I think Maxey plays, but if he is indeed sick, maybe
I hope he does. Betting
bit.
aside, please, for my own safety, just like insanity, don't sit out Maxey. Like
yes,
I don't
definitely play Maxey. We want Maxey, but if we get a Maxey that's less than 100%, I think Oubre is a pretty common sense guy to be like the next in line for some extra looks. Another thing, we all saw the Embiid injury and the one eye blink, whatever the fuck that was, while he was laying on the ground. But this man had a 38.7 usage rate last game. Is he going to be able to maintain that if hopefully he stays on the floor for his full 35 minutes or however long he's going to play? Is he going to be able to maintain almost a 40% usage rate? I don't think so. I don't even think it's our best strategy here. I think we should keep the ball moving.
I mean, Oubre destroyed the Knicks so far. Like, not destroy, I shouldn't say destroyed, but he had very nice games against the Knicks earlier in the season as well. I just feel like watching that game, not to cut your point off there, Ryan, but not the on your point. But yeah, you need more. You need more than just Maxey putting up 30 shots. And I love Tyrese Maxey. He should be shooting 25 shots a game, but the Knicks are good enough and they're too lengthy that they'll adjust. I feel like you got to get more from these other players.
100%. Yeah. And Nurse said it when they asked, how are you going to get Tobias involved? He kind of brushed that off. He's like, well, we got to get Oubre involved. We got to get this guy involved. So on and so forth. So I think he's kind of like the common sense guy that should be next in line for a decent uptick in usage here. You mentioned 39 minutes. I mean, how awesome is that? I think, during the playoffs, one of the best things you could do is stay a little lower, I guess, risk, if you will. So like this is a 0.75 play, but attack these role guys that are going to be out there for 39 minutes or even 35 plus. And if they hit their first 2 or 3 shots in the first quarter, you're in for a fun rest of the game and potentially a really lucrative one. And I think this spot really fits the bill. kind of desperate. Embiid injury, now Maxey.
Can Embiid even see? Like, do we know that? Like,
I don't understand the eye thing. I have no idea what's
can
going
he
on there.
see? Like, I feel like I'm seeing some places on Twitter, but I think it's not being talked about enough. He hasn't took sunglasses off since like Sunday or whatever the game was, Saturday. He couldn't blink. It's a little concerning.
You're bigger than Ryan. Fight back. No, he's agreeing with my point, so we can allow it this time. But
Also, Ryan is bigger than me. He's tall as hell. He's so Ryan's tall as shit.
Pretty tall guy. I'm the short one in my family too, which is really funny. But nonetheless, we have a 9-game sample size with Embiid with 30+ minutes. In those games, he averaged 17.9. So we're just shy of that 20-point mark that we got for it was plus 900 last night, which is awesome. I still love the plus 650. He had 25 or more in 3 of those 9 games, so he just has that ability to burst. So really like the spot for Oubre in short, even though that was not short at all. Final play for NBA is Austin Reeves PRA. I believe this is bumped to 23.5 everywhere. No issues with that at all. I got it at 22.5 last night. And I thought he was pretty good. I didn't have any complaints about his game. He had 0 turnovers, 20 PRA, but only 9 field goal attempts, only 4 potential assists. I think it's just really, really low volume for a guy that was out there that long. I'm not saying he's going to go out there and shoot 20 times tonight, but I just think we get closer to that 12, 13, 14 field goal volume that we're used to. He also averaged 11 potential assists in games where he played 35+ minutes. So I just think we get kind of regression to the norm here as far as volume is concerned, which should sail him over this line. This is a really soft line. I mean, for the season, he averaged 25.6 PRA in 32.5 minutes, and then he played 37 minutes last game. So, I've said it all time for pretty much all 4 of my guys here. Targeting guys that are going to be out there for a ton of minutes, and I love buy low spots for guys that are going to be out there like crazy. So, he averaged 13 field goals in games that he played 35+ minutes. So I don't think we need a ton here. If we get 13 field goals and 8 potential assists, I think this is pretty easy. He'll scrape up 3, 4, 5 rebounds. This is actually probably my favorite play of the night. I really like this one. I think it's just a super soft line for Reeves in general, especially after the trio of LeBron, AD, and D'Lo took 59 of 79 shots for the Lakers. Obviously, AD's volume's probably not going anywhere. That Bronny James' dad's volume probably isn't going anywhere. There's no way D'Lo takes 20 shots again after the series that he played last year, and then this first game where he scored 13 and 20 shots. This guy asked me if I like Cox. I don't know how to respond to that. Fletcher Cox, I guess. Yeah, I am a big Fletcher Cox fan. I'm just gonna assume we're talking about him.
Crusty K says it's your favorite, so
huge fan. But nonetheless, Austin Reeves, PRA 23.5. Really, really like that one for 1 unit.
Yeah. Before we move on to MLB, I was gonna say not even the commercial yet. Someone in the chat, Lisa, said I would have thought Nick is really tall. Nick, how tall are you? Are you tall?
Great question.
How tall are you? I know Ryan's tall.
I'm like 5.
5
I'm like 5'10".
5'10". Okay,
Gotcha.
we have to meet in person and stand back to back because I'm like 5'10", 5'11"-ish. I used to be listed at 5'11". Then when you go into college for sports, I knocked it down because 5'10" sounds stockier at like 190 because I wasn't that big. Like 5'10", 190 in college. I was like, that sounds stockier than 5'11". It sounds like I'm trying too hard. So I guess the moral of the story is it's just Ryan that's tall. And then we have 2 shorter guys here. So we're gonna need Ryan to carry, literally. So
we'll see what I can do.
That wraps up the NBA section as well, right? I believe so.
It does.
Yeah. So before we get to MLB, we're gonna kick it to Brad Thomas, and a selfish plug. Thursdays now at noon, me and Brad have a show, so make sure you tune that in. But at the same time, he's gonna have a quick message for us before we do the second half of the show.
Wait, before we get back to the picks, I wanted to thank you all for watching. Friends don't let friends watch videos without hitting the like button. So go ahead and press the thumbs up button and like the video. If you're new here and not subscribed, you should go ahead and do so because we're dropping new content each and every day on the GoldBoys Network. We strive to cover every sport and give out picks and analysis and valuable information for free on the GoldBoys Network. So make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell so you can get notified when we drop something new. I'm Brad Thomas. Let's get back to the picks.
Oh wow, thank you, Brad. I actually have to give Brad a second thank you because when I was gone in Myrtle Beach, you can't bet there. And on our show, we both talked about how much we liked the Heat in the playing game, for the final playing game, and he was able to bet for me to get some money down on Heat money line. So that was a nice
What a guy.
sweat free way to. That was a sweat free way to play to pay for some drinks that night. So thank you for Brad. As always, he rocks the blue hair. He had the white hair for a while. One of these shows, I'll dye my hair. I told him if we ever hit something big. So I'm gonna grow my hair out. I'll shave the sides, spike it up like him. I'll dye it either white or blue. We'll have a good time. So
Nice.
yeah, if you ever, we have to win a bet. So that's the next part of our show. We did win some bets, but yeah, he actually gave out Bryson DeChambeau at like 11-1 for the first round leader. I told him it has to be something better than that. It can't be something 11-1. It has to be something crazy, like at least 25-1. So
We talking Masters here?
I mean, the Masters. Yeah,
Wow,
he
and
gave
it
that
hit.
out. Yeah.
Dang,
Yeah.
Manny Machado paternity list as well. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, we had a few
These guys are
questions.
fucking. So we
Yeah, no
have the
kidding.
MLB to talk about. How many
Um,
how many plays do you guys have?
I have kind of two, but I was not proactive in sending my last one because I locked it in a few minutes before the show. But both of my plays kind of tie into each other. But real quick, Giovanni asked if the Josh Hart triple double is crazy. The 2 assists kind of does turn me off just a little bit, but again, I've said the same thing about every guy, and he's the greatest example of all. He's going to be out there, and his assists, like his low assist games, never really seem to mean too much. He just has his games where he pops like crazy with assists. So I definitely don't hate it. I mean, I'd go small on it, but I definitely don't hate it. And then Lisa asked how tall I am. I'm only 6'3". It's not like I'm anything like gigantic. I'm just
Don't let him lie to
taller
you.
than Ryan.
I met him in New York, and I swear he was 6'6", 6'7". Like I thought I was meeting a Nick. Honestly, when I saw him, I was like, "Is that Dante DiVincenzo?" And then I was told it was not. It was Ryan Dolan. I said, "Yeah,
And then Sean Miller asked if I would take 23.5 for Reeves, and yes, I would. So yes, now we can
yeah,
talk baseball.
yeah." Oh, but I could pick up a truck. So good for Krusty. So you said you'd play it small. Ryan would play the triple double there for Hart as small as Krusty K, just a little sprinkle, like a little tiny bit.
Just a
He
little
wouldn't go too
5'7"
heavy.
sprinkle.
A little 5'7" sprinkle. But I guess you have MLB. I only have one play. I didn't really get a chance to go into MLB as much. I was kind of busy this morning, and I just know that you two would carry the hell out of me if I didn't have much. So who wants to get started?
Nick, I only have one-ish play. So go ahead, Nick.
I got 4. First one is a under walks parlay
I saw that. That's
on
sick.
DraftKings.
I'm taking that.
Ranger Suarez, Jared Jones, Tariq Skubal, and the hand of God slider himself, Brandon Pfaadt. So
Dude, we have so much
parlayed
tape.
all 4 of those
We have so much tape of me and Nick talking
under
about
1.5.
the hand of God slider. We have so much tape of me and Nick just talking about this before he came to the league. And that first game he played, he got destroyed, and it
was not
was
good.
very sad. Yeah, it was very sad for all of us.
Yikes.
But I think Ryan, you said you didn't have much on Ranger Suarez, but I know for a fact that when I saw Nick send that play, my first thought was, I want to take so much Ranger Suarez props. He has great history at this park, but we talked about on the show before the show with Lorenzen last year. Not saying he threw as many pitches as him, but sometimes you see those guys throw those complete games, and it's so worrisome when you see their outs because any other time of the year, his outs would not be 16 and a half plus money to the over when it opened. So I really wanted to back him in some way, but I just couldn't find a way to fully get involved with him.
Yeah, understandable. I mean, when I look at this Cincinnati lineup, it looks like K's all over the place, but I don't know. I'm a little skeptical, and also MGM's really the only playable one, 5-5 anymore, and I'm not really too convinced on 7. So, but yeah, hey Nick, you had a walks play.
Yeah,
I guess you got it out before
Yeah.
Brian
Oh yeah,
well, no,
took you by the
I
throat.
want to
that
be
was
clear.
it.
I want to be clear with the people that are saying, I'm not trying to cut Nick off. He's just on a really
Sure.
bad delay, and I can't tell when he's stopping because
That
like
is true.
he's like 3 seconds behind. So I was trying to like say one word and then drop back, and we kept getting mixed up. I respect Nick more than anything, but this delay is really awkward when you're also trying to MC a show because
Nice with the best comment of the day. This guy talks
Yeah.
too much, man. Imagine doing a show with him for like a year and a half, dude.
yeah.
I'm just kidding. Sort of. Nick, that's play number 1. How many did you have, Nick? 3?
4 total.
Gotcha. Brian, why don't you go ahead?
I will go ahead because my play is actually the DraftKings 2-Up promo. I don't know if you guys have been doing that at all,
Every
but
day.
yeah. So for some reason, I got back and I didn't do it for a while. I guess 'cause I couldn't bet in South Carolina, so my max came up to a full unit. It used to just be like the 15 or 10, whatever it is. And I did use the Phillies. There's no Bryce Harper, but they were minus 108, and I wanted to back Suarez in some way. And the Phillies do have the second in the entire league in runs per first inning. They score 1.05 runs per first inning. And my big
Wow.
thing with the 2-Up promo, I actually like the Phillies in general today, even though I hate them with all my soul.
Yep.
They do score a lot early, and Hunter Green's a guy that just throws so much gas that he does have a tendency to allow some early runs if he doesn't get started hot. I know when he played the Brewers, he allowed 2 runs in that first inning, and then he ended up allowing 7. So this is really just a way to back a team that I do trust, Ranger Suarez, to just continue being as great as he has been this year.
Just
And
phenomenal.
the fact the Phillies bat first, I think it's worth the juice there. Even though you try to go with a plus money play, I think it was worth the juice for the Phillies to hopefully get on the board early. If not, just win the game outright.
Yep. Big fan. I thought about that one a lot. My second kind of less official play that I don't have a screenshot of is the up 2 promo. So yeah, I love that promo. I play it every single day. Got off to a really nice start, but only hit 1 out of the last 3, I think, after hitting the first 7 or 8 straight. So need to get back on track. Nonetheless, I suppose I can spit that out as well as a little parlay that I put together. This is like a builder parlay. Don't get too excited. I'm still lame as shit playing minus odds plays, but first 5 builder that I played. I've been playing these, a couple a day. This is another prop that I'm having a ton of success with recently. But I went over to Arizona, St. Louis for this game. The main thing I look for is I target games where I think I have a pretty good read on runs, whether that be over or under, knock it down a run, and then pair the side that I like the most with a plus 1.5 cushion, if that makes any sense. So at minus 119, you can get the Arizona Diamondbacks plus a 1.5 for their alternate run line. And then in the first 5 innings, alternate total runs over 2.5. It's a weird one to try to say out loud, but thankful for screenshots so you guys can kind of understand what I'm getting at. But there are 2 pitchers that I kind of want to fade here, but one that I really, really want to fade. But, Busch Stadium isn't the best park in the world for runs, but they do have winds out to left field tonight. And we have some meatball guys out here. So first meatball guy here is Lance Lynn. Of course, this guy's first percentile in barrel rate allowed, which is not good. That's like the opposite of good. That is like as bad as you can get. So just simply put, I think Arizona takes him deep at least once. He gives up over a homer per start over like a 2.5-year sample size. So he's just, I think they can get runs on him, hopefully get runs on him really early here. So just generally speaking, I like Arizona to perhaps even knock out these 3 runs by themselves. And Brandon Pfaadt, I actually think he's okay. He was really impressive in the postseason last year. He has a pretty bad ERA, but the underlying metrics suggest some bad luck. His expected ERA is only 3.62. So he's the guy that I wanted to back over Lance Lynn. So I like having that 1.5 run line cushion here. But just generally speaking, I wanted to fade Lance Lynn and back Pfaadt to a certain degree, but I also don't think Pfaadt is going to be immune to giving up runs here. So like 3+ runs to be scored. I lean Diamondbacks for their first 5 money line. So if you add in the 1-run cushion, I like it even more. So this is I do 1 or 2 or 3 of these parlays pretty much every day. This is my one for tonight. Oh,
Awesome.
And I guess pretty much everything I just said applies to my up 2 promo because I went Arizona with my up 2 promo here as well. Just really like them to take him deep, hopefully really early in the game as soon as the first inning would be really, really cool. So just want to fade Lance Lynn in every opportunity that there's some wind out to the outfield. So went Arizona money line for the up 2 and then this first 5 parlay as well.
Yeah, I know Tone Stamp said it before on the show when I sent my clips. Is this the most we've ever talked about money lines ever? I think usually we don't really focus on it, but all of a sudden we have 2 places where we can talk about it, so it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I'm having a harder time getting motivated with K props the way that and FanDuel did it last year, but they slap a plus 120 on a relatively unfair over, and then they juice the shit out of an under that you'd have to parlay piece with, and kind of struggling to get motivated to do it. I mean, I liked Skubal, and he actually has a really fair price at 6.5. Considered it all day, and I still am kind of debating. I have about an hour to decide I'll say that's a fairly strong lean, even though he's only like over 1 out of 4 so far. But I like Scooball. I like Ranger Suarez K's, but struggling a little bit to get motivated with the way they're pricing these K props these days.
Yeah, I'll be talking about before the show because Isaac in the chat also mentioned Nick, who is the walks parlay there. Jared Jones was in it, but I also like the strikeout prop today too. But as Ryan just said, 6.5 minus 125 to the over. I think it's a great spot despite the Brewers being a little bit lower on the K rate side this year. But it's just so hard to see a guy with electric stuff. You don't know his leash totally yet. He got pulled really early last start.
Weird stuff.
He's awesome, but I just if I'm taking a chance for a guy to get 7 Ks, I would like a little bit more information that's not super juiced to the over. So it's been a lot tougher of a market this year, I feel like.
59 pitches after 5 last game, and I know he's super efficient. I'm sure he could have thrown more. I'm sure he's just, he's a young guy with obviously a ton of potential. They just want to limit his innings as much as humanly possible, but then they ended up blowing the game. So
It didn't
what good
work.
are you really doing?
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, I like all these guys for Ks. There's a few spots that I definitely did peek at today, but I don't know. I'll shut up. Nick Larson has more plays.
Yeah, and he comes in with a delay here, so get your pencils ready. It's got to be
Yeah,
a
Nick's-
little bit.
Nick, just start talking now, and we'll stop talking in about 4
Take
seconds.
it. So I'll start talking now, so then it'll catch up, hopefully. So talking about targeting pitchers. I'm gonna target Bryce Elder of the Braves. He struggled ever since he somehow was an all-star. And I'm gonna go with the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for Miami, which is Jazz Chisholm, Josh Bell, and Jesus Sanchez. Actually was texting Ryan the other day about wanting to play Sanchez, and he said, wait till he gets hot, because when he does, the hits are coming, and he just homered the other day and looked halfway decent. So he does hit Elder fairly well, 4 for 12 with a homer. All 3 of these guys have homered off of Elder. Jazz and Bell, both not the greatest numbers, but hitting 3, 4, and 5 behind Arias, who has been an on-base machine once again. And then De La Cruz, who has actually been hitting the ball probably second best in that lineup. They moved him up to the 2 spot. So I'm going to play their 2, 3, and 4 RBIs for each guy, 0.3 units on the 2, 0.2 on the 3, and 0.1 on the 4. Jazz 4 is plus 4,400, Sanchez plus 42, and Bell plus 4,000, just for odd comparison. But just really like going against Elder in this matchup. I don't think he's the greatest pitcher the Braves have. So
3, 2, 1. Okay, Nick should be done now. I think it's kind of funny with this delay you're at, because there is, when you have a show with 3 people, there's just natural lulls where we could all chime in with each other. And without Nick having that delay, it's so hard to know when he's done. But I'm glad you mentioned Elder, because Ryan mentioned with the K props. I actually wanted to fade Elder on the strikeouts today. I looked at it. It was 4.5, minus 160 or minus 150 to the under. And it's just being so hard to kind of get behind that, because it almost feels like last year that would be closer to minus 120, and I'm all over that. But they really have been kind of juicing a lot of these unders, where Elder should not miss many bats today. I say that before he strikes out 17 tonight, but I just don't think this is a lineup he's going to have too much success over. So I do agree with Nick on a lot of his points there.
Huge fan of this. Yeah, I'm a huge Bryce Elder doubter. I always think he's left-handed. I don't know why. He's not left-handed. He's a righty.
He's
but
not.
yeah, I don't know why, but after the All-Star break last year, he was just atrocious. He had like an ERA in like the low 2s at one point.
He's one of those advanced number
joke that
guys
was.
where even if his numbers seem fine, it's like, oh, his ERA is like 2 this month, and you look at his barrel rate, his whiff rate, they're all so below average. But
Yeah.
sometimes guys don't have the best stuff, but they just find outs, and he kind of fit in that bill where he had his insanity run, where he was just like, wow, this guy's great, he's gonna fill this out. You look at his all of the other stuff, but he did not look great overall in terms of those advanced numbers.
Yeah, definitely. I think Brian and I are done. So Nick, you want to keep firing?
Yeah.
yeah, my last play is another RBI play here. Gonna go to Colorado and go against Austin Gomber with the Padres. I'm gonna take Cronenworth, Kim, and Profar. Cronenworth hitting 348 off of him, Kim hitting 429. Profar hitting 500. No Machado, so you're getting the 3, 4, 5 hitters in tonight's game. Bogarts leading off, then Tatis, Cronenworth hitting third, Profar fourth, and Kim fifth. Good value on these guys. Profar's 2 RBIs was plus 420, Cronenworth plus 360, and then Kim plus 390. So once again, same unit structure. Great hitting park in Colorado. Not a great pitcher. So fading the pitcher and playing the good matchups. Same unit structure. So the 0.3, 0.2, 0.1.
Nice. Beautiful. Yeah, I was sitting here staring at it. I just saw the Manny Machado news that he was out, and I was wondering if they would throw Tatis in the 3 or 4 or 5 hole. And then I saw his 2 RBIs, his plus 270 anyway. So I was like, yeah, I'm good on that. But the Cronenworth, Profar, Kim, really solid value there. Campusana, you got to have Campusana in a play tonight, right?
Had him with the no strikeout in the early game, so couldn't post it on here.
I see. Understood. Does that finish you up? Okay. Well, boys, it's time to build a parlay. We won, 2 weeks ago? We did not win last week. So let's fucking win.
Yeah, that'd be good to win one. Before we get to the parlay, though, I want to say one thing. I know Krusty Case is in here talking about K props or anything else with you want to back. First guy on the board that I wanted to back today was his old friend before the White Sox tossed him away was Dylan Cease. But man, 7.5 at Coors. It's a little frustrating. I don't want to be the guy that gets too mad that Vegas is good, but you look at that 7.5 and right away. Yeah, someone said this guy's lays throwing me off like we're in the Matrix. That's what happened to me earlier. I tried to make a cute little joke with my friend Nick, and it took 30 seconds to get through because of the delays. But it's like when you're the old Zoom meeting at the COVID days where it took a 15-minute meeting takes about an hour because of the confusion. But we do have a lot of parlays here. We're gonna have to build it with Nick, so that should be fun.
That will be fun
to figure out how we're gonna make sure. Building it on Fandom now. So Nick, since you're the one with the delay right now, what are the 1 or 2 legs you want to get in right away? So that way we can, by the time you say it, the show will have, time to register it.
All right, I'll start talking before you're even done. Jonathan Isaac, points, rebounds, or point.
Okay. That works for me right there. Let me see here.
Oh man, just golden. We could
Yeah,
PR that bad boy and then avoid that game so we could parlay it if you guys wanted to.
Yeah, so let's see here. I'm going to go to that game right now. So we have Isaac. You want to do the PNR, rather than doing the PR? Do they have alt lines yet for everybody?
I think so. There's alt PR. 14.5 is minus 192. 15.5 minus 144.
Awesome.
Nick, if you can learn some sign language and fill us in on which one of those you want, that'd be great.
So I'm okay with the 15.5 at minus 144, right?
I'm with it. Sounds great.
So that takes away that game completely, though, right? If we
Yes, it does.
Yes,
but that's okay. I think we had enough action on that game anyway.
Yeah, so that way we can not lose all our money on the first game, and then have to look out the windows and debate whether or not we're gonna eat ourselves off there. Second game we have 76ers and Knicks. How do you want to attack this one, Ryan? Because
I'd be all right just rocking with Oubre 11.5 or whatever it's at right now. It might be 12 now, but
it's 12 now. Do you want to just do that, or do you want to buy down the 11.5?
Yeah, we could probably
11.5 is minus 154. That's not bad.
It's not bad. I'm cool with that.
All right, we'll do that. Do we have anything that we really want to put in the Lakers Nuggets game? I didn't have much on that.
I was, I had Reeves points in mind, but I had a couple NBA looks that I wouldn't mind as well.
I don't mind Reeves points
down
either.
So much. But you could knock down Reeves to 13.5, which I think is a great number for him, and still get minus 154. So, I really like that leg.
That would put us at plus 360 going to MLB. That's not bad. That's like 2 more legs.
Yeah.
So we did PR for Isaac, right? 15.5 for PR.
That's right. Oubre 11.5, Reeves 13.5.
And then kick it over to the other games. What's your Nick, once again, since you're on the delay, we have 10 minutes left. So if you talk now, we can get this in.
Here, real quick. Well, you can still start, Nick, but Bridget asks, is that PRA for Isaac? It is just PR, 15.5 P plus R.
Someone with Ranger Suarez or under on Elder.
Yep,
Awesome.
I had Ranger teed up. I'm cool with the 5-5, and that's another thing with parlay and K props is like if you buy them down one, the value is just horrible. So that minus 128 for 5-5 sounds great to me if you guys are in.
Yeah, and what's Elder? Elder minus 160. I mean that's not bad.
That would probably get us home.
We could do that, or we can make Nick painstakingly like do it and do Jared Jones at like 5 and never mind, minus 160. I was thinking 5 or 6, but I don't mind Elder under if we want to do that.
I had it. I was looking at it earlier today. I swear it was sitting at a minus like 115 for like a second on DraftKings earlier.
It might have been a second because now it's minus 150 easily.
Yeah, for sure. And I kind of took a little bit of time to think about it, and then I got distracted and came back to it as minus 150. But this is one that I really liked. So I'm all for it. It gets us home, too. It gets us to 1,200, in fact, 1,221.
Yeah, I mean,
Ooh,
do you guys want to do
runs allowed. I love that.
Is it? Oh, they have that now, don't they? Yeah, I forgot they added more.
Hold on,
props,
FanDuel
right?
does?
Oh, would you? Oh, you're just looking over. I was like, I thought you were still on FanDuel. No, you're right. No, the FanDuel does not have that. Do they don't
added a bunch of crap though, which is cool.
Yeah, I'm about to say they don't. Let's see. First, we could do. You can't do the Marlins first 5 on FanDuel either. FanDuel is such weird with their baseball props. They just don't. They don't offer a lot. But the under 4.5 Ks gets us, as you said, 12-1. Like that's not bad. I think that's a good look overall.
I'm a big fan of this. I think this is very obtainable.
Yeah. So I'll read it off real quick if that's cool with you guys. As always, we will post it. Maybe we post it on Twitter because I think the last time we did it on Twitter, it smacked and it was awesome.
That's right.
So Jonathan Isaac, 15.5 points/rebounds. Kelly Oubre, over 11.5 points. Austin Reeves, over 13.5 points. And then for the baseball portion, just Ranger Suarez, 6+ strikeouts. And Bryce Elder, under 4.5 Ks. So brings us to plus. Actually, it's plus 1234. That is 1, 2, 3, 4.
Can't beat
I
that.
just and it just switched when I said that. So it is plus
You did.
1199. So 1199 is actually a better number if you think about it. I was kind of hoping it would be. I was hoping it'd be the 1, 2, 3, 4, and we can call it the Nick delay parlay. Parlay, just the 4-second delay parlay. The 1, 2, 3, 4. Hopefully, it kicks back to where we need it to be because that would be a much funnier name. If
Be
we had
poetic,
it like
really.
Yeah, so let me see. Yeah, you can't. I'm trying to change it. You can't do it. Damn it. Well, we
Arizona,
tried.
Colorado money line. I'm on Carolina, or I'm sorry, Carolina. Good Lord. I'm on Arizona money line for the first 5. Good Lord. I'm struggling with everything. Arizona money line with the up 2 promo. So that would be my lean there.
Yeah, I like that. I feel like that should be. Wait, let's see. Trent just posted his card. Said 5 minutes of lab work, 6-0 card. What is his card? Should we check that out?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad move by any means. I looked at it earlier. I'll pull it up real quick and spit that bad boy out because that's just. That's just
is it his Super Goats one or is it a different one? Oh, Kelly Oubre's on it.
We got Maxwell's. Good Lord, I hope not. So we have Cavs minus 5.5 is the first one. Then we have Sixers plus 5.5, which really hurts, really bad.
You can't go 0 for 6 every week, every day. I mean,
he might. And then Nuggets minus 7.5. Then over to hockey for Carolina Islanders under 5.5. Vegas Knights money line, and then Edmonton Kings over 5.5, which has to be a trap, right? I don't know. I know you guys know a little bit of hockey. I don't know how much you pay attention to it, but that 5.5 has been calling my name all damn day. But yeah, that's Trent's card if you need to do a full fade as well. So yeah, I think that'll.
I know he's on Kelly Oubre today as well. So hopefully he's right in a little bit. Yeah. So we hope for the best there.
He sure is, and he's on Reeves. Oh boy.
God, we're all.
Sorry, guys. I gave out some losers today.
You know what though? You can't let that change us. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. I saw that in a book once, so I'm gonna start using that as my saying of the day. So, Lisa said Brian, he can for sure. No, he definitely can go over 6. I'm all for that, but at the same time, we're gonna hope he doesn't for the Sixers' sake. Do you have anything else you guys want to add before we do the recap?
Just to recap.
All right, we're gonna go Nick, me, then Ryan, so that way Nick has all the time he needs to go through his plays.
I might as well just start talking then.
There it
So,
is.
basketball, Jonathan Isaac, first quarter rebound ladder, over 2.5, 4+, and then 5+. LeBron James, assists first quarter ladder, over 2.5, 4+, and then 5+. Both of those on DraftKings. First baseball play is an under walks parlay. Ranger Suarez of the Phillies, Jared Jones, Pirates, Tariq Skubal, Detroit, and Brandon Pfaadt of the Diamondbacks. So all under 1.5 parlayed on DraftKings, and then 2 separate RBI groups here: Marlins, Jazz Chisholm, Josh Bell, Jesus Sanchez playing 2, 3, and 4 RBIs, 0.3 on 2, 0.2 on 3, and 0.1 unit on the 4. Then the final group is Padres, and that is Profar, Cronenworth, and Kim, same units on those. And hopefully I'm done talking now.
I appreciate that. I think it was good. Before I even get to mine, just if you haven't yet, make sure to like and subscribe to the GoldBoys Network. We're here every day at 5 p.m. I know Ryan's going to sign us out, but every day at 5 p.m. Every Monday at 5 p.m. And then we have our daily videos. Ryan will do that. But I just feel like I didn't do a good enough job trying to MC the show with the like and subscribe jokes. So I got too thrown off with a Nick joke. So I had to say that real quick. My 3 plays
There you go.
today are MLB wise. It is the Philadelphia Phillies money line. If you don't have the promo, I still like them overall. I just think Ranger Suarez is a lot better right now than Hunter Green in terms of trusting them with my money on them. And then for NBA, I took Kelly Oubre over 17.5 PR. If you have DraftKings, it's now plus money. I'm going to post it as that because I don't know what's going on there. And then Darius Garland over 25.5 points / rebound / assist. That is also DraftKings minus 120.
Nice. Trying to fight a sneeze right now. I'm not sure if I'm going to win, but we're gonna do our best here. I went Darius Garland over 15.5 points. I believe that's minus 125 on DraftKings right now. I then went to a Kelly Oubre ladder where I took him for 15 points for 0.5 units. And then I took him for 20 points for 0.25 units. Over to Austin Reeves, PRA over, it's now 23.5 for points plus rebounds plus assists. And then finished off NBA with Franz Wagner over 22.5 points plus assist. Over to baseball, I had a first 5 parlay, Arizona Diamondbacks plus 1.5 run line, parlayed with over 2.5 total runs in the first 5 innings. I think it was minus 119. And then for the up 2 promo on DraftKings, I took Arizona as well. That will finish us up. We appreciate you guys tuning in. We appreciate Odd Shopper and Sleeper Picks for sponsoring, and make sure to like and subscribe to GoldBoys Network because we have tons of content every week, and we will see you next week.